Okay, sure. Hello, this is 𝙂𝙧𝙚𝙤, and I'm medical director at Salient Lifestyle Center in Elgin, Illinois, and we are focused on providing the community and the public full education on treatment of diseases and management of lifestyle to promote better health. And we've had programs since 2020 so far. And today we are happy to welcome you to Elgin, Illinois with our special guests, Irina and Kareem from Purple Sprout Cafe. And I want to start off by asking to tell a little bit about yourselves and how did the name Purple Sprout Cafe come about? Thank you.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much. We are happy to be here at this amazing place because we are all about natural health. So kudos to you, Dr. Garg, and to Gabriel for doing such an amazing job and attracting so many wonderful people to this community place. So the name Purple Sprout came about as a result of my husband's meditation. And 6 months after we founded our healthy restaurant, we found out that Purple Sprout actually does exist. So purple sprouts are the little microgreens of radish. So, so that was very interesting.
That's wonderful. Yeah, I've had a chance to try them on top of the food. They're absolutely delicious. So today, can you tell us about your program?
Yes, of course. So,
Yes. Well, I would like to say a word too about purple sprout. And even though there is a microgreen, which is a purple, and we can say, oh, this is like very healthy. Microgreens are healthy. This is very trendy. Everybody's thinking that like sprouts are very healthy, and they are. And this is why we are purple sprout. But really, what it's about is the purple is the color of mindfulness. It's the color of the brain, so to say, right, in energy spectrum. And mindfulness and sprout is the hatching of mindfulness. That means that once you are becoming plant-based, or once you're health concerned, you're becoming more mindful. And this is what actually, this is another meaning of purple sprout.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I can absolutely attest to that. That it was my journey, being plant-based, that brought me into mindfulness, and I thought closer to God as well. So thank you.
Yeah, so that was our experience as well. That's how, the gates of spirituality opened up to us when we became plant-based. Yes. Okay. So at Purple Sprout, we do a lot of different programs, and we can tell you more about what we are, who we are, what we do later after the demonstration and the dinner. But today, what we are doing is we are making together healthy, nutritious, easy to make, delicious dinner. So those are not oxymorons. You can actually put all those adjectives together. So it does exist. So you will see it together today. And we will be making, we can go to that slide. So today we will be making turmeric brown rice, green mung dal or green mung bean stew, cabbage salad, and delicious chocolate that just melts in your mouth. So,
and it's wonderful to hear chocolate can be plant-based as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
And sugar-free.
Yeah. Thank you. So, what should we talk about? Yeah, ready to go? Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah,
absolutely.
First of all, I just wanted to say that Irina told me ahead of time that this was Sona Masuri rice, brown rice. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. So at Purple Sprout, we only use whole grains that have not been polished or they have not been processed, because they still have the bran, they have the germ, they have the bran that has all of the nutrients. So once you strip the grain of those nutrients, so for example, white rice, so it becomes just plain starch without any essential nutrients. So, and Sona Masuri brown rice, it's actually a combination between Sona variety and the Masuri variety of rice. So that's how it was, that's how it came about. And it's low carb, it's low glycemic. And Dr. Garg just told us that he knows that a lot of people in India use it instead of regular rice for, it's
when they
great
have
for
blood sugar
diabetics.
problems and diabetes. Yes.
Correct. Yes. So also what we wanted to mention is that we will be happy to share all the recipes with you. There is a sign-up sheet there at the entrance, so please feel free to give us your email address. And also, so I'm Irina. This is my husband and my business partner, Karim. And he's also known as Dr. Nature. So we do a lot of education in addition to making delicious, healthy food in the form of meal plans and then a lot of different frozen items that we ship everywhere in the country. So, and today I will be showing you how to make the recipes, and our Dr. Nature will be helping me with explaining the benefits of all the ingredients we'll be using.
Wonderful. Well, let's get started.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'll give the microphone to Kareem here. Just get behind you. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We are beginning to cook now our brown rice, Sona Masuri brown rice.
Okay.
And as it was mentioned before.
So first we're going to rinse it. So I'll run to the sink and I'll do that. I always use, little tip for you. I always use a colander, so that way you don't have to, make sure that, so that way you don't lose any grains. So I'll be back and Dr. Nature will tell you about the benefits of brown rice.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So brown rice, why we like brown rice, and especially Sona Masuri brown rice, is that the endosperm, which is the starchy substance, the starchy content of the rice is the carbohydrate. And the carbohydrate, once we consume carbohydrate, if that is not utilized by our body, by the activity of the body, it actually turns into the lipid, and it turns into the fat. Okay, and that fat gets deposited. It gets deposited within any internal organ or on the skin or anywhere in the body where it decides to deposit it. So the more starch we eat, the more we are at risk to develop the fatty tissue and uncontrolled fatty tissue. So brown rice has less content in percentage than the other components of the whole grain, which is the germ and the bran. Bran and germ, those two components, they have the nutrients, they have the vitamins, they have the fiber. And the endosperm, which is the starchy substance, which actually is left when the rice or any other grain is polished, has the carbohydrate. We don't want to keep that. So, and Sona Masuri brown rice has actually been um, um, hybridized to actually have the lowest amount of the starch. So of all the brown rice or all the rice, Sona Masuri brown rice has the lowest amount of the starch of the carbohydrate.
Great for weight loss.
Yes. Okay. So.
Okay, wonderful. So to
And-
make our rice, we're using today I'm using about 2 cups of the Sona Masuri brown rice. We're using a little bit of turmeric that has anti-inflammatory and immunity boosting properties. Just a little bit of sea salt. We are not big fans of a lot of salt, but just a little bit helps you to digest beans and legumes. And we're using also anise seeds. So these are the ingredients. And let us tell you a little bit more about these wonderful spices.
All right, so the spices we're using with brown rice is turmeric.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to just add water here, about 3 cups, and I'll go put it on the stove.
All right, great. So these two spices actually, the way we look at spices is that they have special effect and special action on our physiology. And in these recipes, we're using the spices that actually enhance the digestion. which is the starch. Once it's being digested, it actually produces lots of mucus, and this mucus, once it's like over digested and liquefied, can actually cause harm because it produces some heavy toxin within our bloodstream. And what turmeric does, it actually prevents the rice to produce that much of a mucus. So this is why we're using turmeric, and turmeric also has a lot, like a very wide spectrum of very good beneficial health actions, including anti-inflammatory, and it controls the blood sugar too. So, and next one is the anise, and the anise is aromatic herb, and that is also a carminative herb that enhances the absorption of nutrients, and this is why we're using these spices with the brown rice. All right. So
Okay, so we just set our rice on the stove. It will take about 15 minutes for it to get to the boiling point, at which point we will turn the flame down, and we'll continue cooking for another 30 minutes. Okay, and then we'll see the result. So, and now we are moving on to the next dish, which is the green mung bean stew, or dal. Dal is actually very famous in India and Southeast Asia. What it means is just a lentil dish. And our dish is made with mung beans, green mung beans, that are absolutely wonderful. So again, for better digestion, the smaller the bean, the better. Lentils are best for your digestion. And also, we always recommend to soak your grains and your beans to make sure that they release enzymes, and to make sure that you can digest them better and absorb the needed nutrients. So also, a small tip, I always wash the cans, because you're still touching it. If you're touching it, it's been at the stores, it's been everywhere, so then you're touching other food. So I always like to rinse the can.
So yes, soaking beans and grains, that's the way to go before even you cook them. That makes the lectins, and lectins are very dangerous anti-nutrients in the grains and in the legumes. That reduces the content of legumes greatly.
Mm-hmm. And
So
we will rinse the mung beans as well. Okay, and in addition to the mung beans, we are using, again, turmeric, sea salt, bay leaf. Bay leaf is very important. We always recommend to use bay leaf when you are cooking beans, because what it does, it helps you basically digest the beans better, so you are not feeling bloated.
yes, bay leaves bring the astringency of the beans down, and as we know, beans and legumes, they're very astringent in nature, and the astringency is the quality that actually makes us produce gas when digesting the beans, and while using the bay leaf, we are reducing that
Mm-hmm.
risk. So
Mm-hmm. So
okay,
if you can talk about the mung beans while I rinse them.
yes, uh-huh. Well, and mung beans, it is the product of India and Southeast Asia, as it's mentioned, and it has different names. So this would be like one of the beans of the choice, because it is very balanced in terms of how much of the nutrients it has, and how it has the uh, it's very balanced in terms of the Oriental medicine too. It benefits all the constitution types, and we all have like a specific constitution type. And certain people with specific constitution are not advised to eat specific foods, but amongst all these legumes, the green mung is the type of legume that is indicated for everybody. So as well as I was mentioning, like some other smaller beans, uh, and lentils. Green lentil, red lentils, they do not have, by nature, they don't have the lectins, and lectins are pretty dangerous glycoproteins that actually turn into that have the tendency to turn into very heavy pollution within our body. So, and this is why soaking actually gets that property out of the beans, and we don't have that then. So yeah, and green mung is very nutritious. It has a lot of different nutrients, including different minerals and elements and vitamins and flavonoids and everything that we need, including the protein. It has a pretty high content of protein too. So, and as we all know, the beans are pretty high in protein, and so whole grains, they are higher in protein content than the polished grains.
So in this dish, we are using our magical 5-spice mix. It's our proprietary formula that we put together, that Karim put together, that helps with digestion. So it has cumin seeds, black mustard seeds, fenugreek seeds, kalonji or black cumin seeds, and fennel seeds. So
Well, even though I put it together, it's not my recipe. It's an ancient recipe of the mixture of these 5 spices that
ancient
actually,
Ayurvedic
yes, that actually
recipe.
helps digestion. It boosts the digestive enzymes and digestive strength within the stomach and small intestine as well. Well, primarily stomach, of course. And these herbs, even though they possess different other qualities, but they all have the same uh, property, is that they are boosting for digestion.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they are very nicely balanced in terms of the potential energies in them. And
They're also immunity boosting, anti-inflammatory, help with digestion, weight loss, menopausal symptoms, and just a wide range of different health concerns.
right.
So what we are doing,
And it is
actually,
very aromatic too, very aromatic.
yes,
And
it adds this nice, beautiful flavor to the dish. Yes. Okay, so this dish is a little different. So first we'll start the water, the bay leaves, a little bit of sea salt. By the way, we like to use sea salt. That's just sea salt, plain. When you're at the store, make sure to read labels always, because even sea salt sometimes would have other ingredients such as anti-caking ingredients or something else that are actual carcinogens. So you need to read the labels.
considering the modern day time, there is a lot of concerns, including salt too. Pink Himalayan salt sometimes is dyed, and to distinguish whether the pink Himalayan salt that you're using is the good quality salt and natural color, what you may want to do is to dissolve some of the salt in the cup of water and let it sit for a while, and then see if it has the sediment. If it leaves the sediment, that means that it's not a good quality salt. Salt needs to be dissolved completely, and sediment will tell you if there's like some other components that are present there, especially the dyeing agent. Yeah.
Okay, and
So
now we
next-
will.
Yeah.
So now we will put it on the stove so it can come to a boil. And after that, we will add our mung beans and yes, the mung beans. And we are adding coconut milk, which is another secret ingredient. We are not using dairy. We are using coconut milk instead. And Dr. Nature will tell you why. So, and we will do that at the end.
All right. Yes. So another ingredient of the dal is the cow milk does, and that means that it's more appropriate for us, because then otherwise our body needs to process the real dairy, which actually comes pretty harmful for digestion, whereas the plant-based dairy, especially coconut milk, doesn't pose that challenge to our body, and it does not contain casein, and casein is the dairy uh, protein, which is basically a complete protein. We may think it's a good thing, but in fact it's actually a bad thing, because then what happens is that the complete protein doesn't break down fully, and it is being absorbed partially undigested. And what happens with that is that it starts causing certain allergenic reactions within our body. In fact, the casein may be attributed to a causative factor to diabetes number one, which is juvenile diabetes, because once children are separated from the breast, they are being fed the cow milk, and the cow milk has the casein, and casein actually causes the allergenic reaction, and then the body starts attacking the pancreas instead of, well, in the attempt to clear out from casein, because casein is very identical to the beta cells protein structure. That could be the reason. So that's the downfall of real dairy, and that means
And the
that
benefits of coconut
and the
milk,
benefits
yes,
of
are
coconut milk,
profound. Yes.
or any other plant-based milk, especially in the raw state.
Great for skin, great for the diabetics, antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, promotes hair growth, restores dry, damaged hair, and just exfoliates the skin. So once you start eating more of, especially raw coconut milk, you feel the difference. So
Very
your skin like starts
rejuvenating,
breathing, really,
very
truly. Yeah.
nourishing. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So now we are moving on to our next dish. See, it took us
So
how long? Maybe 10 minutes. And if you're not talking like I am right now, it would take you even less time, right? So we already got 2 dishes going. So now we are moving on to our cabbage salad. And there are just so many varieties of cabbage salad. Maybe if you can go to that slide. I want to start with that.
this one.
So you can do, cabbage is so versatile. You can do so many different things with it, right? You can even make cabbage steaks, which we do for our meal plans, and people just love them. But in terms of raw salad, raw cabbage, you can do all these different variations. You can do Asian cabbage salad, Mediterranean. You can do Indian cabbage salad. You can do Latin cabbage salad. Thai, I mean, just, the sky's the limit, right? And we like using both the green cabbage and the red cabbage. And what I love about the red cabbage is that it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Do I go this way or this way?
Yeah.
The other way, right? Okay. I always get confused which way to go.
What are you trying to do?
Show the inside.
This
This way?
yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Now just look at this beauty. Right? So beautiful. Mother Nature. Okay, so now if you can go back, please. So for our salad, we're using green cabbage. Today, we're doing this. Red cabbage, carrots, celery. And by the way, you probably know this, but I just wanted to mention, this trick. If you want your celery to be crunchy, you just put it in a container with cold water. The water has to be cold. Let it sit there for 15 to 30 minutes and it becomes extra crunchy. Okay, then we are using a little bit of cumin powder, just, powdered cumin seeds, black pepper, grapeseed oil or olive oil. I just like grapeseed oil because it's so much lighter and it doesn't have any bitterness to it, and lemon juice. So for these salads, we won't even use any salt. Okay.
All right. So, and
yes.
here we begin slicing, and even though there is a great variety of salads, what it comes down to is that the spices and the dressings. It really depends on what dressing you want to prepare. You can make your own dressing out of different ingredients, different types of oils, different types of uh, uh, creamers. You may use different types of nuts, seeds. If you're doing a vegan type of cabbage salad, and
Our
spices,
rice
and
started boiling,
then
so I'm reducing the flame, and it will need another 30 minutes. Okay.
and then different components. I mean, different ingredients into the salad. Instead of you may use cucumbers instead of celery, for example, or just basically anything. Even I know there's a cabbage salad, just cabbage by itself with some vinegar and oil, and it really tastes great.
By the way, raw cabbage makes a great snack for kids as well as adults. Our kids just love munching on cabbage. And growing up, I remember grandma always giving us the middle part, the really hard part. So it actually strengthens your teeth because it's so rich in calcium, and just delicious. It hydrates you too.
One good tip is before you begin eating the salad, or if you're preparing it just for the immediate use, then what you may want to do is you may want to squish your salad, to press it, um, to make the cabbage soft and make it juice up a little, yield some juice, and then that juice can actually mix with the spices that you're putting on the salad, and that will make it tender and will make it taste great. So
Another tip, as we know, there are a lot of people who are not big fans of raw salads, right? Especially cabbage. Lettuce is okay, but cabbage can be so hard, right? So one of the tips that we wanted to share with you is slice it as thinly as possible. So the thinner the salad, your cabbage is, the more enjoyable, the tastier it is. So that's why I'm using this mandolin. By the way, there are many different mandolins available anywhere on the website. If you search on Amazon, for example, just type in vegetable slicer or mandolin, and you'll get just so many, results. And some of them even come with different blades, so you can use it for different vegetables. Okay, so
all right. So when we talk about the balanced meal, we can think of the components that need to be present within this balanced meal to make it balanced, and those components would be one side of, let's say, one side. Either that could be carbohydrate, like grain, for example, or if the person does not eat carbohydrates, they carbohydrates free or low carbohydrate, then they can use some type of vegetable in the place for the side components, such as for example kali mash, uh, or kali rice, uh, or some roasted vegetables, for example. And then the second component of the balanced meal would have to probably be some sort of protein. And here in our case, we talk about beans. So that would be the second component. People adhering to specific diets would probably make their choice. And the third component has to be a vegetable. Has to be the preference is some raw salad with green leaves, or cabbage, or some raw fiber. Yes.
So another tip, we don't like cutting off this end, right? Because this is what a lot of people do, just chop it off, toss it away. But it's actually the most important part in the vegetable, because it's energetically balanced, because this is where the green part grows out of. So it goes upwards and downwards. So keep this part, especially when you're cooking. So just clean it.
Yes, just make sure you clean it well.
So even in the raw salad you can use it. This is what we do.
This is the science of whole nutrition, whole foods. So talking about holicity or wholeness of food. And I'm sorry.
See, I'm using this other mandolin, and it makes carrots so thin, and now it's not gonna harm your teeth in any way. Still raw, still delicious, and enjoyable to eat as well. Did you talk about the benefits of cabbage? Yeah.
Actually, with raw food, maybe some people who do raw food, they would be aware that raw food actually is at some point it gets like annoying to chew it for like long time. You chew and you chew. So what's more fun with the raw food is slice it really finely, like really, and then there's a lot of enjoyment in this actually. So yes, and the raw food along with the cabbage has a lot of benefits, of course, and those benefits are primarily cleansing, because raw food is very cleansing. It's cleansing to the digestive tract. It's cleansing to the blood, to the liver, to the kidney. It's cleansing to the lymph, and that's why we need to now and then have some raw food and try to combine our cooked dishes with the raw salads. All right.
Okay, so now we will slice our celery, and this is the kind of knife that I like to use. It has kind of like a rounded tip, so that way you just keep it down on your board and you go like that. So the reason I like it is because it makes it faster, and at the same time this nice movement is very calming. So when you're cooking, it's very important to be in a good state of mind when you're cooking, especially if you're cooking for the family. In ancient times, only the most spiritual people had the privilege of cooking for the family or for other people in the tribe or in the village. So it's a very important process, because food absorbs all of your thoughts, all of your emotions, all of your energy. So only cook if you're in a good mood. And this kind of movement with the knife, it's kind of like it's like a meditation. You go like that. So it helps put you in that wonderful mood.
It's like going to physiology. Our autonomic nervous system has two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic, and this parasympathetic is rest and digest. This is when we really need to be relaxed in order for our food to be fully absorbed. In the parasympathetic mode, when we're relaxed, and this time that we can absorb food, we can digest it better. That way our tissues in our body is relaxed. When it's relaxed, that means that the penetration of the energy actually can go deeper in the tissue. That means nutrients can really get absorbed by the tissues.
And celery is absolutely amazing. Celery juice, it helps to cleanse your liver, cleanse your blood. It boosts your immunity, although it doesn't taste that good. But you can always add just a touch of lemon juice to make it taste better. But raw celery like this, especially with a nice dip, is just so delicious. Look at this beauty. Look at this. The green and the purple and the orange. Just so cool.
And one good thing is, when you get up in the morning, is a good thing to begin your day with a juice even before you have breakfast. And it's not really specific with to have juice with breakfast, like when
Cumin powder.
when you watch movie, people drink juice with their breakfast, but in fact, this is not actually a good thing. But you need to drink juice before breakfast. So
Black pepper?
once you get up, have the celery juice with lemon and ginger first thing in the morning. This is like your cleansing breakfast.
Lemon juice that helps to soften the tough fibers. And the oil. By the way, raw cold-pressed oil may be helpful with removing toxins from the body, but it has to be raw, it has to be cold-pressed. So it's kind of like medicine, but you need to know how to use it.
So, and if you're preparing the salad for the immediate use, then at this point, when you're mixing it, you can actually press it nicely and gently, but so that it yields the juice, and it really gonna take it to another level. It's gonna be juicy and moist and delicious, and but still crunchy and very satisfying. All right, so these are the benefits of celery, and yes, here we are saying the thinner you slice it, the better it tastes. And this is this salad actually.
Okay, so that's your salad. Again, it doesn't take long, especially if you're not talking like us. A lot of talking.
Be creative. Use different ingredients, different spices, different dressings, and you will have your own cabbage salad. You can even name it whatever you like. And then maybe it will be once a day will be in this list.
Yes, by the way, feel free to, once you get the recipe, make it at home, post it, share it with people, because what really works is when you share something that you know with others, especially when people see, and especially when people taste and see how good it is, right? So always share, because you never know who might be able to change their life because of what you said. And tag us on social media so we can be so proud of you. Okay. All right. So now we are moving on to.
All right. So next is
let's see, chocolate.
That's a fun part.
Yes, okay. Raw vegan chocolate. Do you think that making chocolate is really hard? Who thinks that? Impossible, right?
And so did we.
Yeah. So
the
let's
whole
see.
factory is necessary.
Again, when I'm not talking, it takes 2 minutes to make this chocolate. Well, plus, maybe 15 minutes freezing time. Okay, also depends on how many chocolates you make. All right, so. I'll be right back. I need to rinse this.
All right, so why raw chocolate, not regular chocolate? Because cacao bean is very sensitive when it's being roasted. When it's being roasted, it actually secretes, not secretes, but actually produces lots of carcinogens, and those carcinogens, because of the roasting, in fact, if you think of it, now anything that you roast that turns like the char, that actually has the char on it, is actually bad for health. It is a carcinogen right there. So when the cacao bean is roasted throughout, it actually acquires a lot of carcinogenic compounds, and then the proteins actually get denatured. They do not actually then produce amino acids when you eat them. So this is why the raw chocolate does not have carcinogens, and the raw chocolate does not have the denatured proteins. So this is the advantage.
So we are using 1 cup of raw cacao powder. Then we'll need 1 cup of raw coconut oil. So this is a pretty good raw coconut oil, virgin cold pressed. It's sold at Costco. By the way, everything we are making today is pretty economical in terms of, well, it doesn't break your bank. So when you make these foods your staples, you don't just realize health benefits, but also it's pretty affordable. So what we need to do with coconut oil, we'll need to melt it. So either on the stove top, just a little bit, or in hot water. Okay, so I will do that in a second. And the third ingredient, just 3 ingredients in this raw chocolate, is half a cup of maple syrup. And this is one of our favorite brands, 𝙈𝙧𝙗𝙗 Maple Farm. Or you can also use raw cacao, raw date nectar, or raw coconut nectar. Okay, so I'll go melt this coconut oil and I'll be right back.
All right. So, yeah, what cacao powder is good for? It actually has the astringency and the power to really affect the liver. So it actually has the very high, good, good potency to cleanse the liver and cleanse the blood as well. But it needs to really be in specific, like small amounts. um, and basically that's the main benefit of it. Best when we do not mix the proteins with carbohydrates, especially when we talk about the animal products, for example, and potatoes or grains, or noodles, white flour. Those two things, two food groups, carbohydrates and proteins, should not be mixed together due to the reason that they are being digested differently. Proteins get digested in the stomach, whereas the carbohydrates get digested in the small intestine. And if they both, and then when they mix, they get together in the stomach, then what happens is that the inadequate digestive juices are being secreted with a smaller content of hydrochloric acid, and then the proteins do not get fully broken down, and they're pulled unfully unassembled, unassembled. They're pulled into the small intestine, where they just begin to rot because they cannot get broken down further in the small intestine. And actually, what happens is the easier the protein, the better we can digest it. So the simpler the protein. So the like animal proteins, they're very hard and very complex and very tight and tough compounds, and our digestion has very hard time to break them down fully in the stomach. And what happens if they don't get broken down fully into the amino acids, and in this form get absorbed into our bloodstream? Then what happens is that the fragments of unfully broken not amino acids, but protein parts get into the bloodstream, and then they cause the antigen reaction. Because if it's not the amino acid but part of a protein, our body doesn't recognize it as a nutrient anymore, because it cannot be utilized in any way, because we need the amino acids, and only under that condition our body can use that. But if it is like a fragment of protein, like a few amino acids still together, clustered together, it is an allergen, it is an antibody. And while being such, the body has to now get rid of it. And what happens if we have the elimination channels that are overworked or dysfunctional, then these toxins actually they linger within our system, within our lymphatic system, within our bloodstream, in the liver, and our body actually collects them. Uh, uh, it cannot get rid of them duly, because of our body is functioning in that mode where it's not really cleansing fully. And what happens is that the accumulation of the toxic matter happens within the body, and there we have a poor situation.
So we're adding our coconut oil to the cacao powder and the maple syrup. So now we just whisk it. So no blender is needed. Actually, if you use blender, most likely your chocolate will turn into this rubbery stuff. So it's better to use the whisk. See how beautiful this chocolate is? I'm just gonna walk around and show you.
And it only has three components, three ingredients in it. Very simple. So simplicity is the key to healthy nutrition. The simple it is, the simpler it is, the healthier it would be.
Thank you. If you want to see it.
And this chocolate you can actually use not only for the candies, but you can use them in different other recipes. In cakes you can cover with this chocolate, like cupcakes, muffins. You can use it as a sauce on crepes, on pancakes.
Looks like
So
real chocolate.
lots
right?
of children would just love that. In fact, this chocolate tastes really good, and it is so much healthier.
Just like real chocolate.
So let's not jeopardize health for taste.
Okay, now I'm just going to use the squeeze bottle. Oh, that's our rice probably. Okay, I would usually scoop it all out, but in the interest of time, I won't do it right now. And then what you do is you just fill these molds, chocolate molds, with chocolate, with the chocolate sauce, and you can get these molds anywhere. There are heart ones, there are like holiday ones.
Or you can make different shapes of chocolates.
Just so many options.
And then again, since it's so simple,
I have to go check on the rice.
So since it's so simple, it's a great attraction for the kids. They just love doing that, and especially if you have different types of molds, especially those for Christmas, kids just would, and they will learn some healthy nutrition too, and they will have fun doing this. And then once they try this chocolate, I can like almost guarantee that they won't want to eat any other chocolate. One thing about this chocolate is that it melts in the room temperature. It actually like a good quality chocolate should. So yeah, it quickly melts. But you keep it in the freezer and you can eat it right out of the freezer. It's really good. It's really nice. And then we used to make truffles with a filling.
I hope I can hold it for long enough to show you all. See how beautiful this rice is, and it's really aromatic, right? And it's not mushy. Okay, I'm gonna go real quick so I don't drop it. Smell the aroma. So it's the anise seeds and the turmeric that give it nice aroma.
All right. So, and you can use this chocolate, and I'm talking. She's showing rice. I'm talking about chocolate.
Okay, I'm gonna go real quick now. I need to move.
So you can fill this chocolate with the filling. You can make different types of filling with let's say nuts. You can soak nuts and then mix them with different other ingredients to make them sweet, to make them flavorful. And then once you make the filling for the truffles, you can dip them in the chocolate and then freeze them together, and you will have wonderful, wonderful truffles. So there is a whole line of desserts that you can basically develop out of this chocolate, and then just use it for your celebrations. This is actually the best, I mean, the healthiest in these terms product to actually to go with. And since you're making it yourself, it's not really that expensive. Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is that you can use it as a chocolate sauce on anything. You can use it for dipping your banana or your strawberries in the chocolate and then freezing them, or just refrigerating them.
Yeah.
You can drizzle it over your cake, basically anything, your waffle. How about that? So delicious.
All right. It's a very handy recipe.
And now I will put it in the freezer.
So let me also say a few words about this dish, the brown rice and dal dish. It is a healing dish. It's considered to be in the in Oriental medicine, Ayurveda. It's considered to be healing. And how is it healing? It can actually be mixed together when rice and dal mix together, and they are made into a very thin soup. This is the type of nutrition that is offered to a sick person who is in a peak of sickness. Let's say they don't have the appetite. Sick people would not normally have the appetite or very minimal appetite. So this is the type of dish that would be offered in Oriental medicine. uh, in the same um, combination, but with a greater amount of liquid. And when it's thin, this is healing for the sick person. And then the better the person becomes, the thicker this dish actually can get. So, and once this dish actually turns to the normal thickness, consistency, I'm talking about rice and dal, that means the person's gotten well. So yeah.
Okay, so this is it.
So this is
now,
the.
yes, thank you. Thank you for being so patient.
Thank you very much.
A lot of running around, but it's actually very fast. So, and before we all eat and enjoy, right? We wanted to tell you just a little bit more about who we are and what we do. We are kind of like a one-stop shop for health and wellness. We do a lot of education. We are a health academy. We teach natural health courses. We have cooking culinary programs. We carry different healthy living products. We provide holistic health services. Dr. Nature here, Karim, he actually does Ayurvedic and nutritional consultations. So then, okay. Then we also make plant-based, organic, gluten-free meals for the week, kind of like a weekly subscription services. And also we have an online store with different soups and stews and dressings and cashew plant-based cream cheeses like blueberry cream cheese and chive cream cheese, just are so delicious. And we have baked products, gluten-free bread and muffins and a whole line of healthy desserts. So, and what's important is that, well, I mentioned that we are 100% organic. We use only whole foods, no refined products, and we use stainless steel equipment for cooking. We don't use any other coatings that contribute to cancer and other diseases. And so that's our online store. I mentioned that. And yes, so we do a lot of free food distributions, especially during COVID times. We did that a lot to support the community. We do a lot of complimentary healthy living education online and in person. And so these are our healthy desserts. Gabriel, did you want to mention now or later?
There's one more thing that we need to mention.
Yes, we will.
Where are you located?
Okay. Yes, we are located in Buffalo Grove, but we are not an actual physical store. It's a pickup hub, and we are online. It's purplesprout.com. Yes, and we do have a phone number, 224-223-7133, if you need to reach us. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Or email us, info@purplesprout.com.
And I would like to also mention, which is very worth mentioning, this very unique product that we've started to carry this product for less than a year yet, and this is just a unbelievably great product. This is the soup. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I was about to introduce this great product, unique product. This is the bio jelly, molecular form of the seaweed. The seaweed is now becoming a very popular superfood, and it's probably going to become even more popular, uh, because the more they study it, the more they understand that this is the ultimate vegetable that has basically everything that we need, that all vegetables have, and it has the full spectrum of the macro and micro trace elements and some other compounds that are actually that attribute to longevity and fighting the some of the great uh, diseases like even oncology and allergies. So this is the bladderwrack. I'm pretty sure that everybody knows the bladderwrack is. It's a seaweed. It is in raw form because so far not many have been managed to make the seaweed in the raw form jelly. It's in a gel form. It's a jelly consistency. It's the raw molecular. The new technology actually that's recently been invented allows for this jelly to actually be raw, never process the seaweed and disintegrate it into the molecules, basically break down the fibrous component of it fully and make and release all the nutrients into the free flow available for 100% absorption. In comparison, some other seaweed products, especially the powder, do not yield nutrients that easy, maybe up to 5% only because the fiber is so tough. But finally, this technology has been created, and this bio jelly is now available. So we have it available, please, and we have some brochures there about it. I'm pretty sure that everybody kind of looked at it already. Yes, question. The best way to use this is to ingest it 3 tablespoons in the morning on an empty stomach or with the juice or after lemon water. Once you wake up, you drink your lemon water. This is a good routine to to just have in general. And then after that, you take 3 tablespoons of these, and then you continuously take it for about 3 months to see the results. You start seeing the results. And if you want to learn, I will probably not talk about how what the benefits of seaweed is. You can research it. Some even governmental official sites, they have like almost full research available on the seaweed on bladderwrack.
But by the
So
way, just recently, CNN released an article that talks about seaweed being the superfood of the future. And the World Health Organization released numerous actually articles that talk about seaweed having antiviral and anti-COVID properties.
yes, that too.
It's similar. It's similar.
Similar. Bladderwrack's considered to have like a higher amount of minerals. Yes, and it's tougher than sea moss. This is why sea moss gel is available. It's been it's been made for a while already, but the molecular composition of CMOS gel is far away from what we have here in our hand. This is the Maserati of the nutrition food. I mean, the food business. That's yes. So this one jar is good for 2 weeks. You finish in 2 weeks. It's one pint jar, and 3 tablespoons every day. You finish it in 2 weeks. And in 3 months, we just observe and see what results. If you have some health concerns, those supposedly be changing or somehow becoming better. It's always individual. We always need to see what your goal is. We need to set our objectives and then start taking this. And of course, it would be better if that is in conjunction with the lifestyle routines, habits that we're also working on to combine together in order to produce even better result. So yes. All right.
Thank you so
Dr.
much,
Garg, thank
Kareem.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So I just wanted to mention that, speaking of lifestyle, I wanted to emphasize that the whole package is so important, that they all integrate together, which is the nutrition, but also making the right choices, having the right amount of rest, having a healthy environment, physical activity, trusting in God, interpersonal relationships, positive outlook, and then nutrition. So these are the aspects we teach at Creation Lifestyle Center. And we are going to have upcoming programs you can find on salient.eventbrite.com. Yes. So, yes, they're ongoing now, including the Depression and Anxiety Recovery Program, which Gabrielle is teaching. So, again, I wanted to thank Irina, and Kareem. One thing I just wanted to mention real quick is some people don't consume chocolate for various reasons. And I can attest that I've gone to a program at Hinsdale Hospital a few years ago in which registered dietitians, they did exactly these bonbons, but used carob 1-to-1 and came up with delicious. Yeah. Carob is, from many years ago in ancient food, that it's said that John the Baptist survived on carob. They called it locust, but it's not the locust insect that we think. It's the carob bean, which is also known as locust bean. So, yeah, that Depression Anxiety Recovery Program. Oh, they will be on the screen. And then there will be the Creation Life Program, which I mentioned, the pillars that we teach. And eventually we do teach full plate living, which is another nutrition program, which is a good entryway. So and we recently did the Vacation Bible School for the small children, elementary school. Some of you came and volunteered there as well, and these children had delicious fully plant-based meals that Gabrielle led and cooked and came up with the recipes. And we think they all loved them. So they had mac and cheese, veggie chili, um, pizza, even pizza, fully plant-based. And so we wanted to show them how to live healthy lifestyle. And we hope that will influence the parents as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Gabriel, and together with Dr. Garg, we are your host today. And I have a question. Irina, we know each other for a while. Can I say something that you'll still love me after this?
Of course, yes.
How many of you have felt intimidated by Irina? I mean, she owns a restaurant. She's all day in the kitchen. Do you want to stay all day in the kitchen? No, right? I knew that. So our next program, that is September 18, is exactly about that. Let me, how do I do that? Okay, it's good. So this is Joan Davis, who is a reluctant cook. She doesn't want to spend time in the kitchen. So the next presentation, the next cooking class is complementary to what you have been exposed today. So she's a master-trained registered nurse, and she's one of the most entertaining speakers in Chicagoland. I listened to her many times. So if you'd like to, we just opened the registration last night. Have your phone? Go to Google or search or just camera app. Okay. And read a code. You can go close, no problem. And if you're watching online, you can do the same with your own phone. So did you get it? Just register. This is an excellent opportunity to register. You save the date, and at the same time, we know how to prepare in advance. Also, we have, for each event, we create a Facebook event. This is on our Facebook page, a Salient Lifestyle Center. And this is the event for Joan Davis. And this is the code. Just use your phone to go straight to this Facebook event, and you can share with your friends. Here, you don't have to register. Just go and share it and save it for the future. So this is what Dr. Gárdž said is a very highly successful depression and anxiety recovery program. I wish I had time to share with you the pre-test and the post-test. It's a tremendous change in just 7 or 8 weeks. The next introductory session for the fall program is, in fact, next Sunday. Will be here upstairs in the Lifestyle Center. And and we have the same program in Spanish the first year. If you know someone who does not understand good English, would like to attend the program in Spanish, is the same program. And this is Dr. Gárdž's program. He's teaching this every Wednesday night, starting September 7. And these are the 7 elements that he just mentioned. All these programs can be found either going to salient.eventbrite.com. I see Rosalia taking notes. Salient.eventbrite.com. Or you can use this QR code and get straight there. And you have all the 4 or 5 upcoming programs. I think this is... and this is our Facebook page. You still want this? Yeah, so this is the code for all our programs. Yeah? Yeah, use your camera. Some of you might be learning something new today, right? So this is our Facebook page. Follow us, please. So it's a new experience. You cannot like it. You just follow. And if you want to go straight to our Facebook page, you have the QR code for the page. So Irina and Karim, thank you so much.
Of course, thank you. Don't go anywhere.
So,
Dinner is coming.
You used to have a restaurant. What happened?
We used to have a restaurant, yes. It was one of the healthiest restaurants in the Midwest. It was called Purple Sprout Cafe and Juice Bar. And then, COVID came and it changed the face of the earth, so to speak, right? So
I used to come many times there.
Yeah.
I took my wife for our anniversary, kids for the birthdays. I took some friends. And I still remember what I liked.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. Well,
in addition,
mint chocolate and spinach cake was one of them, right?
Yes, that was one of them. That was always at the end. And I like that those thick crepes.
Crepes, yes.
With,
chickpea veggie scramble crepe.
No, with the strawberry.
Oh,
sweet one.
strawberry
Yes,
and
strawberry,
cashew
yeah,
whipped
yeah,
cream. Yes.
exactly, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Yes. Good times, good times. But so we had to like just like so many other businesses, we had to pivot and we changed our business model. So we didn't disappear. We decided to take it all online and offer even more things, more services, more programs to the community around us.
And by the way, the hub for everything they do is purplesprout.com. You can even go to the bottom of the page, and you can sign up for the newsletter. Or they have a paper for those people who are not that very into the internet. You can sign up and get
The recipes.
tips and recipes,
Yeah.
and absolutely. So what's next?
What's next?
I
We
think
need
I
to
have
serve dinner. Yes.
I think I have to make way for.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, thank you again. And yeah, I am trying the bio jelly right now, and what I can attest to is that it does help curb the appetite, and it is helping digestion.
Beautiful.
So I've suggested for
Beautiful.
that reason.
Which one
Thank
are you taking right now, Dr.
I'm
Garg?
taking the plum.
Okay, the gastro one.
Yeah.
Okay,
you.
beautiful. Yes. So give us a few minutes, please.
And the
Yeah.
questions, keep for me and Irina and Kareem, and we can ask after our broadcast concludes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, I forgot to mention. So Dr. Garg is, in addition to being a family physician, he's a nutrition specialist from Cornell University, and also
plant-based nutrition certificate.
yeah, and also he is board certified lifestyle medicine physician.
Thank you.
So in this capacity, he is running our lifestyle center.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So any questions you have, he's like a walking encyclopedia. Just come to his Wednesday night seminar. By the way, that is the most comprehensive seminar that we offer here at the Lifestyle Center. Come that just to talk to Dr. Garg. He will always 5 minutes will have for you, for every one of you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Garg has been the Purple Sprout approved doctor for the past 6 years now.
Thank you.
The only Purple Sprout approved doctor. Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for being. Yes.
Thank you. So this concludes our broadcast.
Yeah, if you
Thank
have
you
any
all.
question, please repeat the question for the live audience. And,
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're saying we do Q&A
yeah,
now?
by the
Okay,
time.
sure.
So
Yeah,
are you done already for a couple of minutes?
So we can answer
So
questions.
what questions about lifestyle or plant-based eating or other about cooking? This is your chance. We have, the expert chefs. Yes.
I was going to ask, can you explain the difference between the different colored?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. I have.
Oh, you have it.
that,
Great.
Yes. We have 4 different kinds, and I'll start with the detox. So the green one is the detox. It has, in addition to the 𝙈𝙧𝙚 seaweed, it has ginger and oat sprouts, basically, not the oats, but the sprouts, the juice of the sprouts. Yeah, so it's gluten-free, completely gluten-free. Then we have gastro, that's targeted towards any digestive challenges, and it has dried plums, it has raspberries. Then we have the complex one. It's specifically targeted towards diabetes, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular conditions, and overall health as well. And then we have 𝙬𝙧𝙚, which is just the seaweed for anyone who has food sensitivities for fruit or berries or anything else. So these are the 4 different combinations. They all have 𝙈𝙧𝙚 seaweed, so it doesn't really matter which one you start with if you don't have any food sensitivities.
Yeah, and as with everything, it's always a package deal that you package with lifestyle.
How much are they? Well, on the website, they're $70 per jar. For anyone who is here today, we're extending a special price of $50 per jar, which is a 30% decrease, just because we love Salient Lifestyle Center so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And also, just to mention the taste, because seaweed has a very specific taste.
Here.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Just to mention the taste, because seaweed has very specific taste, and not many people are very agreeable to this taste. And this is why primary reason that this variation has been invented is not because of the functionality of other ingredients, but because they actually add to taste and make them palatable. So for many people, but then other, like in other ingredients were um, specifically added
Formulated.
for formulated for specific
Health conditions.
yes, for specific
Why
reasons.
do you call them seaweeds? I mean, it's seafoods.
Yes, it's actually.
Right, seafood,
Yes,
right.
thank you. Thank
There's
you for
sea
that.
animals
Yes.
and then seafood.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah,
agree.
Thank you. Yeah. So, what questions about cooking? Anything that specific about tricks or techniques? Yes.
And I just want to say, Irina, was your restaurant in Wheeling?
Yes.
I've been there. I went
Oh.
there a
Oh,
few
yeah.
years ago. So I was looking for fresh juice, and my journey led me to a juice place in Barrington.
Hmm.
And then I ate a cashew cake. And they said, "Where's this from?" They said, "Oh, we get it from Purple Sprout."
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
tell us about that.
They must have been supplying them back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I followed that to your restaurant.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
got my juice and I got some more cake.
Yeah, so we actually.
Repeat for the live audience.
Oh, yeah. The question was that, in Barrington, I believe, which restaurant
It was
was
the
it?
organic juicery by the train station.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Okay.
they're not there anymore.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's very hard to find fresh juice, I've found.
Yeah.
So I go to Mariano's, sometimes they have it.
There's two new fresh juice places in Barrington
They're
on
open,
Barrington Road that are open now. Yeah. It is
Mhm.
hard to
Making it at
find.
home with
Yeah.
the cleanup is a hassle. So
Yeah. So I've actually, believe it or not, I have suggested it for people that are recovering for COVID
yeah.
because they can't eat. I know myself that I couldn't eat a bite. And so
Mhm.
fresh cold pressed juice is a great way to recover because
Mhm.
you can't physically eat or digest. So this is a way you can just flood the body with nutrients. So
Mhm.
for 3 days, it's an easy way to recover.
Absolutely.
So-
Yes.
But I do have a question. What are the best oils to cook with?
Oh, so I can generally say
Mhm.
oil generally is to be avoided in cooking. The reason is because it adds calories. So 1 tablespoon is about 120 calories. 1/4 cup, which easily can be used, is 500 calories. So I know, and especially in
Empty
Indian
calories,
cooking,
right?
yeah, it's empty calories. It's
Mhm.
extracted. There's solvents and chemicals used. So many oils are considered a chemical more than an extracted processed food. So, for example, cold pressed coconut oil is more close to the source, but it should be used sparingly, right? And it wasn't cooked or smoked or anything
Mhm.
like that. And so bonbons are a treat that you have once in a while, right? That
Not an everyday food.
not an everyday. So in our
Mhm.
house, the bottles of oil, they will last 1 year for 1 liter. So
Mhm.
that is,
Mhm.
very sparing, very little, occasional, and as close to the food as you can get it. Yeah,
Mhm.
what would
So
you
is
say?
virgin olive oil not recommended at all?
So no,
Not
I
for
think
cooking.
it's wonderful, but we use for dipping or
Mhm.
just a little bit at the end
Mhm.
for finishing, but we don't cook with it. But yes, it's delicious. You feel the bite in the back of your neck, but it is something that is very holy for someone who is from Mediterranean, right? They have
Mhm.
the tree in the backyard, the family picks the olives, they take
Mhm.
it to the press, and you get just maybe, hardly half a pint out of it. And that half a pint is used like liquid gold, just a little bit to season with.
Mhm.
But, the way that Americans use oil, it's a commodity. And we have learned from many Chicago programs on the news that much of the olive oil sold is adulterated and fake, which is very bad news. So, yeah, what would you
Yes,
say about that?
wonderful. Yes, absolutely. I don't have much to add except that what we always recommend is that if you must use oil, add it directly to your plate once you have already plated your food, not when you're cooking, because
Yeah.
oil just turns into trans fats that clog, that just clog your arteries.
So just think, for flavor, for example, sesame oil, a little bit on Asian foods, little bit of olive oil on Mediterranean foods, and just a tiny bit of coconut oil in place of butter on Indian foods, that's okay. But again, the quantity should be very limited. So this is a really interesting statistic for Indians specifically, who have the highest rates of heart disease, and many times early in life. So early, it is common. I can see a 28-year-old with a bypass scar. I'm not exaggerating. It's real. So this is how we should use it, very sparingly. So an Indian 50 to 70 years ago would use 10 kilos or 1 kilo cooking oil per person per year, which translates to about 4 or 5 grams. Today, it's more like 10 to 15 kilos per person per year because it's so cheap and imported.
You reminded me that the next cooking class on September 18 is focusing on food that is kids friendly. New, I don't want to sell it, you can read it online. The cooking class in that was September. October 16 is focusing on Middle Eastern, Mediterranean cuisine. And I forgot about the November one. But December 4th, on December 4th, Irina is ready to come back to teach us how to make plant-based, healthy cakes for the holiday.
That's amazing.
December 4th. Save the date.
Thank you. Yeah, you heard it first. This is special. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, when you use the coconut milk, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh.
I never use it in my cooking when I'm going to.
Yeah, tell us about the coconut milk that you use.
So there are different brands of coconut milk available. Again, read the ingredients, make sure it's just coconut milk. I know that Thrive Market, for example, they have coconut milk that doesn't have any gums or anything else added. So, and the reason we are using coconut milk is that, well, traditionally dal, which is lentil dish, is made with milk, cow milk, but, due to the disadvantages of that we had already talked about, that cow's milk, it can negatively impact your lymph system and the kidneys and a lot of other different things. So we decided to use coconut milk, so it doesn't have those drawbacks, so it makes the dish healthier and tastier as well. Yeah.
So funny story, we have twin boys. So when they were around 5 years old, we went to Hawaii, and they show a lot of things, how strong the Polynesian men are. So one of them, he pressed the raw coconut with his bare hands and out came milk. And then my son commented that, oh, coconuts are like mammals. They are hairy and they give milk.
That's funny. We had a question here.
I was going to ask, the cold coconut milk that, you buy in the grocery store compared to the can, what's the difference, do you think?
What kind of coconut
Oh, the
milk?
coconut milk that you buy at the store is heavily watered down. That's the one.
The refrigerated.
Yeah.
Yes, it's heavily watered down, and also probably it has all kinds of preservatives in it. So read the labels. If it's not refrigerated, it definitely has preservatives that you don't want in your body.
Is better?
It's very thick, very thick. Yeah.
It depends on the brand. So read the ingredients, or look on the internet, search for pure coconut milk or something like that doesn't have anything else, any other additives.
Oh, so one trick to that, okay, is to take 1 can and then add 5 cans of water. And then what you get is coconut milk that's able to be drank or used in smoothies, but it's at the right consistency to drink. But it's still a rich food, so it should be a small quantity. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Hi. My question is, what about the coconut oil? What do you say about the one that is unflavored? That doesn't have the coconut.
Oh, that is the refined coconut oil. Yes.
Refined.
Yeah. Yeah. So the question was what about the unflavored coconut oil, which is the refined coconut oil. So we have used it, but only for the massage for our twin boys. That was the only reason. We didn't use it in the kitchen. Can you tell about it? Yeah. Yeah, the
Yes.
refined coconut oil. It
Yes,
should not be
yes.
used in cooking. In my
It shouldn't
opinion.
be. Yes,
Yeah.
no refined product should be used in general. Mhm.
But it's great for massage. Yeah. And yeah, in hair also, we in India it is used a lot for hair and scalp
Mhm.
health,
Mhm.
especially for babies who get that crusty. It's called cradle cap.
Mhm.
It's wonderful to use that and massage it in.
Mhm. Actually, coconut oil is beautiful. It's great as a beauty product. So as a moisturizer, as a lotion. Yeah.
And I've met Italian ladies who are older who have just amazing radiant skin. I ask what's the secret. They say olive oil. They
Mhm.
apply olive oil every day.
Mhm. Mhm.
So oils are great for external use.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, olives are delicious. Yes,
Especially in the
absolutely.
winter time, we know that cold times are coming. When you apply oil, like sesame, organic sesame oil, to your whole body, it helps you stay warm. Mhm. So if you do it daily, besides keeping you warm, it has a lot of other additional benefits, such as it keeps your mind calm and keep helps you stay more focused, and it draws out toxins. And then when you take a shower, it's a nice detox. Mhm. Organic sesame oil.
And then
That's what
one
we
other
recommend.
oil in
Mhm.
India that's used frequently for joint pain is mustard seed oil. They call it sarson ka tel, and that
Mhm.
mustard seed oil is used for joint pain as kind of Bengay, but it is
Mhm.
used because it's very warming
Mhm.
and it gives that sensation.
Nature has all the answers.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. So thank you for your questions, and we will be available while we're serving the food. So thank